But that leads to the question, Anthony, of should we be worried? There was two teams that were coming in this season that were kind of Super Bowl favorites. People were kind of betting them. And should we be worried, Anthony, about the Cincinnati Bengals? Not a great start for the AFC champions, the defending and reigning AFC champions. Joe Burrow, 4 interceptions, 5 turnovers total. Now, he made that up. He played well in the second half, got 2 touchdowns, threw a bunch of yards. But at the end of the day, they went to the hole. That offensive line, Anthony, the Bengals spent how much money on that offensive line? What happened? Joe Burrow got sacked 6 times. This is with Alex Kappa. This is with La'el Collins. The defense for the Bengals did stand up, but then again, we got to look at who they were playing at quarterback. They were playing against Mitchell Trubisky. Are we going to really bank on the fact that the Bengals defense did well against Mitchell Trubisky and also against that Steelers offensive line that's not really all that good? I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like we have to be worried about the Cincinnati Bengals, but I want your take first.
So I don't think I'm selling my Bengals stock yet. I think I still see a bright future for them. Maybe not, they went to the Super Bowl last year. Probably not that, especially with how looking at the Bills and the Chiefs are doing, even though it's week 1. The word, Joe Burrows, he's going to throw it however much he needs to throw it. And, they had -5 in the turnover rankings during the game, and they almost tied it. And if they made an extra point at the end of the game, they would have won it. So a lot of things happen that should hopefully not normally happen. If they're going to keep playing like that, then yeah, that this is going to be a lost season for the Bengals. And I'm not the biggest Zach Taylor fan, but I think despite that, I think I'm not going to sell the stock. I think I had them winning the division. I think I'm going to still keep it that way. I think they still are the team to beat in that division, despite starting out 0-1 and losing to a division rival.
I felt Zach Taylor is the reason why they lost this game. I'm not really blaming Joe Burrow. I'm not really blaming the defense. I'm not really blaming their kicker. Zach Taylor, I felt, coached a horrible game. Like, Jamar Chase had a touchdown early in the game, and later in the game, but earlier before Jamar Chase scored the supposed game-winning touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even challenge it. He didn't even try to challenge it. It's like, bro, you're a Super Bowl head coach. You should be challenging plays even if you know it's not going to go through. You need all the points you can get. Right now, you're struggling against this Pittsburgh team. And let's be real, Pittsburgh, they didn't make too many changes on their defense. I mean, they added Miles Jack. They added a couple of rotational guys to that defense, but they didn't make too many changes. Like I'm sitting here and I was watching the game and I just was dumbfounded of how bad the Bengals looked, because I felt the Bengals were going to rout the Pittsburgh Steelers. I felt this was going to be a shellacking like no other, and they just ended up disappointing. But you know who also disappointed, Anthony, to your smile? Our good friend from State Farm. I don't even think State Farm had insurance for this one. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I mean, let's just be real. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are one of those teams that you can just kind of trust. I always say, always bet on Rodgers. And what I mean is, always bet on the Green Bay money line. Always bet that Green Bay is going to cover, because they just do that. It's easy money. It's free money betting on Aaron Rodgers. And this weekend, it was like last year, where the Green Bay Packers just did not look like they knew how to operate on this football field. So my question is, Anthony, are you concerned about the Green Bay Packers?
Well, I'll never be concerned about them. I really hope they do poor every year. But that said, I think there's some concern, mainly because, I think Devontae Adams being gone is a bigger worry than any of us ever thought. And I think already people are kind of like, how's it going to be without, Rodgers? They've said for years how he doesn't trust, if a receiver messes up, he won't trust them. And I think there's some merit to that, especially he's got some young receivers, not a lot of experience there. And while, most rookie receivers start getting it going as the season goes on, I think that'll probably be the case. But unfortunately, with not really any good receivers in that receiving room, might be too little too late when it comes to the season. A year or two from now, especially if Rodgers is still there, different story. But, this could be a lost season pretty quickly, especially with the Bears beating the Niners, Lions playing close to the Eagles. It's a little bit of a harder division than it's been the last few years in the NFC North, and the Packers might find their way outside of the playoffs.
if you're the Lions and the Bears, this is the time that you want to attack. I understand Bears fans are thinking about tanking and getting the next big defensive stud. No, you should attack. You have a young rookie quarterback. Build around it, build a winning culture around him. Same with the Detroit Lions. You should attack, screw whatever ideas you have. Look, there's going to be a rookie quarterback that falls to you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. The thing is this. I I was concerned with Aaron Rodgers for sure watching the game, but you know what shocked me the most, Anthony? That Packers defense was terrible, and that's what shocked me the most. Not really like. Look, it's going to take a while for Aaron Rodgers to find a receiver he likes. It's going to take a while for that running game with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon to start going. They have a really good offensive line, and they're going to click. But that defense, has a pretty underrated front seven, has one of my favorite DBs in the league, and Jair Alexander, and they just looked defenseless against the Minnesota Vikings. And that's, to me, was a bigger concern than Rodgers. Like, I get it, we always focus on the quarterbacks. That's like the cool thing to do. But to me, I'm looking at that defense and I'm like, man, dude, like I know Kirk Cousins does play well against the Packers normally, but
Mhm.
that was when you were watching that opening drive and you were just seeing Kirk and Justin Jefferson look like Stafford and Cooper Cup. It just looked. I was just like, "What is going on here? What are the Packers defense doing, especially with the talent that they have?" I mean, we know the talent that they have on defense. Sure, they lost some people. They let Zadarius Smith walk this offseason, but still, that's a talented Packers defense that just didn't look anything like what they should be playing at.